So day 2, we packed up camp out of Hang En and headed out the back of Hang En Cave, which is this beautiful, huge arch that just dwarfs all the people walking through it. And then we made our way over to the entrance of Son Doong Cave. The entrance to Son Doong is actually pretty small. There's a cave in, there's lots of trees and forest kind of covering the entrance. So it kind of explained why it had gone undiscovered for so long before the Vietnamese man Ho Con discovered it. And then it was rediscovered by him and a team of British cave explorers in about 2008, 2009. And one really cool thing is that there was 5 original British cave explorers that first explored Son Doong Cave, and one of them, Adam, just happened to be our cave expert tour guide for this tour. So it was super cool to be able to pick his brain and hear what it was like to first discover the cave. All right, so just finished taking some pictures, and now heading deeper into the cave. The day's only just started and we're already doing our, 3rd river crossing? I think it's gonna be a wet day today. So we just got to the back entrance of Hang En. Definitely is the most massive cave entrance I've ever seen. So this cave Hang En that we're exiting right now is just absolutely massive. I can't imagine what Son Doong is going to look like. But just look at, it's hard to get a sense of scale, but just look at how high the roof is in here. This place is just huge. So they told us before we started this tour that we would be getting our feet wet a lot during the river crossings, and I thought it would be annoying, but actually it's kind of nice. A little bit of refreshing, cool you off as you're hiking. Plus, you can't argue with anything with views like this. So we've just passed by the Cadi River, which is the longest underground river in the world. It actually goes underground in Laos and comes out here 90 kilometers later in Vietnam and joins up with the river that we're currently trekking up. All right, so we just got our harnesses on for the descent portion into Son Doong. If you look over this way, you can see some of the mist coming up from the river way down in the valley. And the karst rock limestone goes all the way up to out of sight, basically. So we've learned about a lot of the flora and fauna in this jungle so far, but one of the first things we learned about was this plant right here, which in Vietnamese they call Nong Hai, which translates into second wife. But in English we just call it poison ivy. I'll leave that up to you why they name something that stings you for a whole week second wife, but yeah. Anyway, to be honest though, this place doesn't even seem real. Almost looks like we walked onto a Hollywood movie set for Jurassic Park or something. Finally made it to the entrance to Son Doong, and here is the writing they put up to commemorate the guy who found it, Ho Con, which I met earlier yesterday. And now we're actually going down to descend into the cave itself. So just hanging out here at the entrance to Son Doong, one of the weirdest things to me so far is that there's actually a wind coming out of the entrance. That's entering from the other side, which is I think a couple kilometers away. Just seeing like all the bushes and stuff moving in the wind, cobwebs and stuff, it's just, I don't know, it's cinematic, but also a little weird and creepy at the same time, and it's really cool. One cool thing he explained to us, which I've never seen anywhere else, is if you can see behind me, these stalactites hanging from the ceiling are actually going down and kind of curving at an angle. That's because of the constant wind coming out of the tunnel, made the water drip that way and form the stalactites like that. So, pretty cool. All right, here we go, down into the abyss. Another thing you might notice in a lot of my shots is there's a lot of flies around here. Then flies attract all these bats. Let's see if you can see them flying around here. You might just see like little specks of So after trekking a couple kilometers through the entrance of Son Doong, we reached the first doline. I know I keep saying it, but it's hard to get a scale for how massive this place is. If you take a look at the tents way down there, you can kind of get an idea. Alright, so we just got to our first campsite, and you can see the first doline behind me of Son Doong. Below us is the river that runs through the whole cave that basically carved it out over millions of years. Thoughts that I had going through here today was just, this cave is massive. It was here a long time before we were. It'll be here a long time after we're gone. Just feel lucky to be here to see it when I am. What do you think, Donald?
It is pretty cold.
This is freezing. I don't know where this water comes from, but let's have ice in it.